Welcome to CSL TV. I just hope you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day. Now, today's content, we about to talk about this crazy guy who was out here looking for little kids. Basically, we about to hear about this child predator. You know what I'm saying? So before I get into this content, make sure you educate your little ones on these type of folks that we have to share this world with, so stuff like this won't happen and we won't have to hear about it in the documentary. But if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You'll be helping your boy out by doing a good deed, and it's free. Like and comment down below what made you watch CSL TV. Now, just a review, a reaction, an informational channel. Yes, we're going to watch a lot of documentaries and different videos, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I like to watch. Maybe you like to watch it too and educate myself on what type of people we live in this world with. But if not, have yourself a blessed day.
From New York is bizarre. It all went down Saturday at this Chinese restaurant in Queens. In surveillance video, what's described as a wolf pack of teens barged into the restaurant and trashed everything in sight while customers and employees run and hide. About 20 young men wearing hoodies and masks were involved and reportedly didn't say anything to anyone. The incident only lasted for about a minute, but they managed to do an estimated $20,000 in damage. It's possible the attack was calculated because the restaurant is actually on the third floor of a mall, not on the street.
They took an elevator 3 floors up to do what they did, and then took an elevator 3 floors down and left with no money, no nothing, just to wreak havoc.
The owner is at a loss as to why his restaurant was hit.
This is a big financial loss, especially our reputation to future customers. Nobody wants to go to a place where things like this happen. I was so worried they were going to harm my employees or customers, but quickly became clear they just wanted to create as much damage as possible.
The restaurant has been able to reopen, but cops have made no arrests.
The worst kinds of people are those who prey on the innocence of others. So let's talk about one of those who needs to be forgotten, Richard Huckle. When it comes to his upbringing, probably the most surprising thing is that there was nothing surprising about it at all. He was raised in a normal, middle-class family in Kent, went to school, went to church, passed all his exams. He was described by his classmates as quiet, but nothing out of the ordinary. Did college, started university, liked to be involved in charity, seemed like he was destined for the bigger things. Shame that it wasn't the big thing his parents had in mind. After finishing college, he went on to spend a gap year in Malaysia from 2005 to 2006, only to return there quite regularly later, before settling down and working as a freelance photographer and English teacher from 2010 onwards. And that's when Huckle kind of flipped the switch. It's difficult to grasp the span and complexity of his abuse, but I could describe it as pre-planned, premeditated, highly organized, and sadly not alone. He would take advantage of the kind-hearted naivete of the local communities, befriend young children coming back from school, and offer free photo sessions and English lessons. Once he photographed the children, he would then post them on various dark web pedo sites, notably the Love Zone, where he offered not only pictures and videos of his hideous deeds, but also tutorials on how to follow in his steps. And it is through the Love Zone, with the help of dedicated police officers, he was finally caught while on a visit to the UK, arrested straight at Gatwick Airport in December of 2014. It's worth to note the parents' behavior once they found out of his son's scope of work. Initially, Huckle was released on bail to await the trial at home, but after he confessed about multiple sexual assaults to his mother, she threw him out of the house and begged the police to take him back. Some things a mother's love can't handle. In the end, he was charged with 91 accounts of assault, and to make everyone's life a bit easier, pled guilty to 71 of them. But sadly, those accounts are only the ones that were documented enough to prove his guilt. It is said he assaulted as many as 200 children in Malaysian communities, abusing their poor status and abundance of trust. His trial was split into 3 separate parts because the prosecutors feared that the horrific amount of abuse would permanently scar and traumatize the jury. 20,253 horrifying images, yes, 20,000, have been recovered from his encrypted hard drives and shown during the trials, and with around 1,000 of them picturing Huckle in the middle of abuse. Apparently, those 20,000 were just a tiny bit of what was actually stored on those devices. I guess prolific is an appropriate word here. During the trial, Huckle tried to play the pity card with this statement: "I really understand and acknowledge the true scale of damage it caused to the Malaysian community. I had hoped to escape this mundane life of solitude in the UK, yet was overwhelmed by the attention I received in Malaysia. I completely misjudged the affections I received from these children. My low self-esteem and lack of confidence with women was no excuse for me to use these children as an outlet. I am open and eager to rehabilitate from this offending behavior. I don't want to become a martyr to sex tourism in Malaysia." Despite his whining, the judge sentenced him to the maximum possible jail time, giving him 22 life sentences with the possibility of parole after 25 years. And that should have been it. But here's one thing you must understand about prison and the convicts that are doing their time there. Even the most brutal ones often have daughters, siblings, sisters, and very often seeing their smiling faces is the only thing that keeps them going. Which is why, to these other inmates, monsters like Huckle are lower than mop water in the prison rankings. On October 13th, 2019, Huckle has been found dead, suffering a very violent, prolonged, and torturous death from his fellow cellmate, Paul Fitzgerald, thus finally ending his miserable and shameful existence and joining the boiling pot of tar with the other big boys like Epstein or Seville. They say you only need to have good thoughts about the deceased. Richard Huckle is dead.
Oh, Richard Huckle, you definitely a one sick mother sucking individual. And for the simple fact that you was preying on foreign people who was less fortunate, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the sick part about it is you was like, hey, if I do this to these type of folks, nobody really care. And he went on doing this to dozens and dozens and 50s of different females, you know. And you know it's bad when your mom said, hey, y'all gotta lock his ass back up. I can't have him in my establishment up here talking all these, you know. And man, that's why you gotta watch your kids, man. Unfortunately, in the foreign countries, things are the way they are. Here in America, he tried that, he did that. You just gotta watch your kids, man. You gotta educate them, you gotta let them know everything about these type of folks that we have and share this world with. Unfortunately, it's sad.